Transplant cells, not organ. Susan Lim. Susan Lim is a Singaporean surgeon who in 1990 performed the first successful liver transplant. TED Talk featuring Susan Lim entitled Transplant Cells, Not Organ. What is the main topic of Dr. Lim's speech? Susan Lim's TED Talk Transplant Cells, Not Organ addresses the problem of organ shortage among liver patients. The supply of organs have grown steadily since 1980s. More than a dozen of patients die each day because of lack of donor organs. That's why Dr. Lim had the idea of transplanting cells and not whole organs to eradicate this issue of controversies surrounding the gift of life. The surgery was shifting from big to small, from wide to open incisions to tiny incisions, from whole organ to cells. What do you think prompts scientists like Susan Lim to inject changes that lead to development of medical practice? Medical keeps on changing, surgery keeps on evolving. To save lives, scientists find ways on how to make people survive without sacrificing too much, because the main goal of science is to make life easier for humans. Also, body holds many more mysteries that are waiting to be unlocked. In your opinion, how far science should go to save lives? Science should go by any means to save lives, but not only the human race but also the diverse animal species. This is because diversity in the environment is the reason that keeps it in an equilibrium state. Any dominance and less existence or extinction of some of the members of the environment would cause an imbalanced community. Thus, science should be limitless in saving lives, but must be in a way of helping every living organism, not being superior to them as human. Science has been embedded in our world forever, thousand years or a million years more. We all know that science helped to improve people's life. We cannot deny that, because ourselves witness everything on how science contributes in ensuring a longer and healthier life. Science should last long as life is continuing. The new species of humans, Juan Enriquez. Juan Enriquez Cabot is a Mexican-American academic, businessman, author, and a speaker. TED Talk featuring Juan Enriquez, entitled The New Species of Humans. What are the three trends that have taken place for the last 25 years? The ability to engineer cells, the ability to engineer tissues, the ability to engineer robots. Identify three instances mentioned by Enriquez in his speech related to evolution. The first one is Enriquez said that one day it will be possible for everyone to have stronger joints, bones, etc. Thanks to work being done today, work which may ultimately be delivered into DNA. We would become species that could literally control its own biological destiny. Second is when Enriquez believes that our workforce is going to work later and later in life, to the age of 70 and beyond. He told us that this is necessary because we must reduce the amount of time seniors spend collecting money from governments. In this way, the dawn of Homo evolutus will merely be occasioned by our desire to live longer, but the necessity of it. Lastly, we know there are some bugs, some plants, some animals that are far more sensitive to radiation than others are. And in the measure that we understand why some creatures are more or less vulnerable to radiation, Enrique said that it may be possible to engineer a human genome, almost like what is done with the vaccine, in such a way that we become far more radiation resistant. It can be also the following: the robot. Robots that are designed for skates and also robots designed for flat threads. The hearing aid. It started with big cones, next is the odd boxes that squawk at odd times, and now we have a little buds that nobody sees, and deaf people will hear as well as you and I can. The eyes. The blind people can begin to see light and dark. We'll be able to see shapes, colors, and anything we can also see. Do you believe that we will evolve into Homo evolutus? Our group don't believe that we will evolve into Homo evolutus because if we look at the definition of how human evolved, it is said that speciation is the evolutionary process by which new biological species arise. As Charles Darwin effectively demonstrated, this can happen as the genetic makeup of a single species evolved into two or more similar but structurally unique species. Over time, a new species developed attributes so differentiated from those of its ancestors that its genetic code no longer matches its parent. Speciation of this sort is complete when two critters descended from a single parent can no longer create offspring with each other. Stated differently, these two can no longer contribute and mix their genes to form a new species. The origin of some speciation is clear in geographic instances, where species that have moved or reside in regions that have undergone change genetically adapt to the new terrain. In this case, species add characteristics that help with survival in their remodeled home and lose those that are no longer useful. While if you look at Enrique's statement, it is stated that evolution is no longer driven by natural processes. Instead, it is driven by human choices through what they call a natural selection and non-random mutation. As a result, we will see the emergence of an entirely new species of human beings. The way Charles Darwin described how human evolution happens didn't match the reason why Juan Enriquez argued why humans are evolving into Homo evolutus. So logically speaking, it is safe to say that humans are far from evolving. What ideas did you get from the speech discussed? After watching the speech of Juan Enriquez, I realized that understanding evolution guides us in solving biological problems that affect our daily lives. It explained how living things change today and how modern living things descended from extinct life form on Earth. Researchers and scientists have a great role in our lives. With the help of their knowledge and skills, they can be able to find new discoveries that will lead to improving the quality of human life. We can be able to have a better and easier life ahead of us if the evolution will continue to grow in a good way.